Hey everybody, this is Andrew Engel with Fresh Picked Leads. We're the lead generation company for Wisconsin real estate investors and business owners. And today we are having our fifth episode of Fresh Pick Fridays, where we're talking with entrepreneurs about everything from marketing to closing deals and everything in between. So today we have with us Brandon Schwab with Shepherd Premier Senior Living.
Correct.
And he is a real estate investor from McHenry, Illinois. So he's our first guest outside the state of Wisconsin, but he's doing something very interesting, a niche that I don't know of anyone else doing. So I'm really excited to have him on. So Brandon, thanks so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
So I'm awesome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited to get to talk to you and pick your brain a bit. But just for some backstory, I actually had the pleasure of seeing you present your business at the most recent Wisco-RIA meeting in Kenosha, Wisconsin.
Correct.
And,
Yeah.
and going into it, I knew the topic, which was boutique senior living, and it was something that I really didn't know what to expect. I was going into it just kind of going, oh, this should be cool. Hearing a new topic or niche that someone's doing, cool. But I think it went far beyond my expectations and kind of blew me out of the water. And I kind of think I speak for everyone in that room. It was just totally unexpected to see kind of your business and how big it's getting and how profitable it is. And not only that, but just the impact you're having on people and their families.
Absolutely.
I think that's really what resonated with me. But
thank you for that.
Absolutely. Just to kind of get into it, can you tell us a little bit like how you got started and how that led into what you are doing today?
Sure. So back in I got into doing homes. So back in 2010, I was just wholesaling about 20 to 30 deals each year. I got into doing that back in 2010 because I didn't have a ton of access to hard cash to purchase anything else. So I would help other people get in to do deals. From 2012 through 2014, I began buying a portfolio of homes. By 2014, I built up 23 homes. Our average profit was about $300 per deals. So I had an idea of what it took to create active income, and then how to take that active income and turn it into passive income. And I had 5,400 coming in each month, and I thought I was doing pretty good. And then in July of 2014, I was visiting family in Tampa, and Kelly's dad actually plays the piano at 328 homes per year. And he goes to the old folks home and he plays the piano for $35. Well, one of the things I figured out is he does the just same thing over and over. And when I began figuring out that he was telling the just same jokes over and over, it got pretty painful to keep going to those. But in 2014, I was down there, and I got talked into going to just one of his shows, and we pulled up to a house. Now, at this time, I owned a just real estate investment club that had about 120 people coming out. So I kind of thought I had everything figured out. And I told Kelly to text her dad because I was like, where the heck are we at? Because we pulled up to this house, and we were able to go into this house, and I was like, just like this, like arms, like, what the heck is this place, And by talking to people there, I found out that one home with 5 people in it outperformed 23 homes I had back at home 2 times per month. So that's what got me first interested in it, because I was interested in creating passive income that would give me time to go do other things in life. I find too often that people get just so caught up doing deals sometimes that they begin to work in, 50, 80 hours each week, and their kids don't ever just see them. And so I got onto this path because I was interested to be able to first give back, but then also to find a business that could create passive income of $10,000 each month. And after that experience down in Florida, I opened up our first home, and I hit $10,000 each month on filling up half of our first house. Our first house has 10 beds today, and it is able to clear about $20,000 each month. So with 50% of our first house, I hit our overall goal to earn $10,000 each month. So that's kind of how I was able to get into it. And then as our first house got fully occupied, people kept calling, and they asked if there was any open beds. And as they kept calling and kept calling and kept calling, I felt, well, I probably ought to open up home 2, and then open up home 3, 4, and 5. It took me 5 years to open up 5 homes, 68 beds. But we are on a path today that I'll probably talk on a tad bit later of what I'm doing going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'd love to hear more about that. So just to kind of further introduce this. So you're doing boutique senior living. So how is this different from, all of the senior living homes we see and are used to in every day?
Sure. So the difference is our homes are anywhere from 10 to 15 beds each. And it has, so we take homes and we turn them into a purpose where folks that have been in their own home for 50, 30, 80 years, they are used to being in their own home. So we are taking homes, and we are doing everything that they offer in these big 100 to 200 plus bed places that kind of feel like an institution. These bigger places, you go in there, they typically have the odor is gonna just hit you first. We do things very different. I mean, when you are in a home that has 10 to 15 people, and the caregiver only has to care for 5 people each, compared to these bigger places that these poor caregivers are asked to care on average on the coast to coast average, the caregivers are asked to care for 15 to 20 people each, and they're getting 10 to probably $12 per hour. We don't do that. So a thing that's different between us is it's a actual home. Our average home is probably 5,000 square feet. That's going to have 10 beds in it. Some of our homes that are bigger are about 7,500 to 8,000 each. Those have 15 beds each. They have a full-time RN each week, which is in each house about 3 hours per day. And then they go to 2 other homes for 3 hours each day. So the RN gets a chance to be in each of these homes to teach the aides, and then the aides get a very good opportunity to care for people without being too overwhelmed that they have to take care of 15 to 20 people.
Okay, great. And I guess another point I want to emphasize is you didn't have any experience in senior living before getting into it. And I think that's an important point because, I don't want people watching this going, oh, that's just because, excuse A, B, or C, why I can't get into it. And just tell us a little bit about how little knowledge you actually had going into this.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So the only background I had in this business is just my grandpa, who was 80 6 years old, was in a bigger 200 bed place. And I had gone through this place, and I had gotten an idea of the type of care that places are able to offer when they've got 200 plus beds. That's the only background I personally had in these bigger type of places. I mean, I was very good at being able to open up the home, but as far as being able to operate it, I didn't have any background at all doing that. And in fact, on our very first home, I got our very first home open, and then I had to partner up with people that had a better background than I did to actually operate these homes. And one of the things that I did early on is I was calling on church pastors, right? And a church pastor introduced me to our Today partner. So one of the things that I was able to do is I was very good to open up the asset, but I was very bad at actually being able to do just what it takes to operate the healthcare business every day. So a thing that I did was I partnered up with somebody else that did, and that could almost go for almost anything. So I would tell people to do what they are going to be awesome at, and then to find other people to kind of do everything else. So.
Yeah. Excellent advice. I was kind of thinking the same wavelength, right? Right before you said it is, it's not really much different from running just your regular real estate investing business. Is you have to have a team, you have to employ people to do things that you're not good at.
Yeah.
So very, very cool. And I think this interview may actually open up more questions than answers for people watching, just because this is such a new thing. But I think so far we got a good summary of what you're doing and how you got into it and everything. But moving into kind of like the marketing aspect of this, or the lead generation aspect of this, what kind of properties are you specifically looking for in these homes? I mean, you're not looking just for single family homes or duplexes. I mean, you got specific criteria that you're searching for. What is that?
So when I got going in this business, I was looking for a very big one floor property. So I was looking for 4,000 to about 5,000 to one floor only. Those are pretty difficult to find. But I will tell you that they are definitely out there. There are places that people built back in the early 80s that they probably overbuilt these houses because they had families that were 5 to just 6 kids, and they built these giant houses. Well, today people aren't interested in those type of very big assets anymore. So these things will go typically up on the MLS, or they will put them up for sale, and they typically just sit. There isn't a big driving factor for anybody to purchase those type of assets. So I have found these type of assets. I typically buy homes with about 2 to 3 acres because they typically don't have a 5,000 square foot just ranch in any downtown area. They typically only have them kind of country-ish type areas. So I have been able to find properties by going through the MLS. I also count on other folks that are doing advertising. So I bought a couple properties from just real estate agents, one from a real estate investor who had this property come across his deal desk. He was putting $5,000-$10,000 each month into advertising, and these type of deals come through every day. But oftentimes investors I'm looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath type of a a deal, and they often overlook these. So I would think for anybody that is on this call that is just getting into this business, I would tell you to take this, jot this down, find this type of asset, and then if you can get this under contract, you could easily just wholesale this to a person that is interested in doing this business, and you could probably get a double fee of, you know, $10, $15, $20, $30,000 if you find a very good deal. Now, a thing that I will tell you, Andrew, is when a property this big doesn't have a ton of people trying to purchase it, one of the things that I have found is that owners are very open to actually carrying back. They'll actually carry back really good financing. So out of our first 5 properties, we only paid cash for just one of them. We got the owners to carry back financing on 4. Now the highest rate I'm paying is 1.5% interest.
So you're kind of doing a little creative structuring of your deals.
We are, definitely.
And so you're doing a lot of seller carryback. So can you kind of describe, like, is that something that you're shooting for? Like that's your ideal, or is that after talking with these sellers, that's what just comes to fruition?
Okay. When I am talking to them, I will come at them with probably 2 offers. The first all cash offer typically doesn't go over very good because I'm offering, you know, 50 to about 55 cents on the dollar. That typically doesn't go over good. But by offering that kind of tees up the owner carryback offer. And a thing that I do is I go, okay, well, I could give you the full asking price, but I would need you to be them holding back paper on it. And a thing that I do in all of our offers is in the place where I am able to add comments. I put buyer agrees to pay. So a buyer agrees to pay the just seller $2,500 for 120 just months. The balance of $300,000 is due on the 121st payment. Okay. So the person in there goes, I'm going to get $2,500 each month for 10 years. And then on the 121st payment, I'm going to get $300,000. Okay. But what they don't realize there is that is the owner carrying back financing. And you aren't paying any juice at all. 0% interest. And when you offer it just like that, they go, I could do that deal.
Sure. That makes sense. Very cool. So, you know, for creative deal structuring, would you say that this is an intuition, or this is something that just comes naturally over time while investing in real estate? Or is this something that you just recommend people just dive right into, and that's something that you need in your toolbox right away?
Well, I think it is good to have. I got kind of taught how to do this business from a couple investors in the Tampa area, that they would go into every deal just like they were totally broke. Okay. And I almost feel that people that get into doing these type of deals today, they put in offers that they actually can't close on themselves. And it almost kind of feels kind of dirty almost, you know, like if if you just begin doing this business, and if you're trying to take that paper and get it to a different person to actually close on it, that's harder. I feel that I got into this business. Our house in 2008, the business I was in obviously tanked. And after 2008, it was hard because prior to 2008, I was taking home a couple $100,000. After 2008, like I got kicked down to like 45 grand. So I had to deal with, how do I do deals without having access to cash, right?
Sure.
I bought a few courses on owner financing. There's a whole bunch of them out there. I think the owner financing offer gives a brand new investor different options, because I think if you only go in there and if you're trying to buy their house for cash only, man, that's hard, because you are going to be tabletop with people, and you are trying to buy their biggest asset for half of what the house is worth. I don't know about you, but like that piece there was hard for me. I mean, I didn't feel comfortable, kind of like when things were down for people, I didn't feel comfortable kind of trying to buy their house when things got tough for them. You know, if they got transferred or anything that actually happened, I kind of feel like the typical investor kind of targets that and tries to buy properties out of that place. I mean, I feel it's a very good option. When I was doing 20 to 30 deals per year, I'll bet you half of those were owner carried back deals, and I would just wholesale them to investors, because the benefit of those deals is the cash on cash return is fantastic.
So it sounds like you went from kind of finding motivated sellers to, and offering, 50 cents, 55 cents on the dollar, to offering full price so that you could negotiate a seller carryback. So
right.
Do you have any negotiation tips on how to do that? Or are you negotiating in any specific manner that you can, share how, if you're doing anything specifically different?
Okay. So I got really good tabletop, where I would talk with people face to face. And what I got really good at is drawing upside down. Okay.
Okay.
And that doesn't appear to be a very big difference, but when you are offering two offers, it is very key to draw out what those two offers are going to be and have them pick in. So I probably wouldn't give anybody just more than two offers, or probably three offers tops. But by being comfortable face to face talking with people, and I would say telling stories. I got into doing this business, doing homes, where our home in 2008, we went through a short, so our personal house I bought in 2007. We paid $220,000. After 2008, that home was selling for $85,000.
Ooh.
So I got taught how to do this business kind of the just hard way. Okay. But I also had a heart for people that have kind of gone through that kind of bought homes that really they kind of overpaid, or after 2008, they just kind of got clobbered. So I was very comfortable being transparent. I feel people today doing this business try to act so as if they haven't gone through anything. I feel a thing that I've done better than anybody else is when I'm talking to owners of these homes is I would be really transparent, that they would get that I've kind of been there, done that. And these couple offers that's what I can do today. And by giving them a couple different offers that I felt I would come out on either of those offers, I didn't quite care the option that they actually picked. I was up to them, you know what I mean? So being comfortable tabletop and being transparent, and kind of being comfortable talking on things that kind of taught you how to get you to this point today. I mean, by being open and kind of telling people like, hey, I got into this business because in our own, so I'm home, and like I had to deal with that. I mean, people who own their own business often have access to 10, 20, $20,000 cash, but they cannot get typical bank financing. So I tell people that, and they felt comfortable doing that. So that's kind of how I got into this place today. Today now, I purposely try to get the owner to carry back financing, oftentimes, because I get that the type of home that I'm after today really doesn't have a bunch of other people going after it. I kind of feel that those deals are going to be easier. Plus too, I also think of it this way: if I had to borrow $300,000 on a 30-year, at the end of 30 years, I am paying back about 3.2 times whatever I borrow. So 300,000 times 3.2 is just 950,000 ish. Okay. Why would I do that if I could just give the owner 400,000 and get them to carry back? Even if I give them 450, 500, I feel that I'm doing better by offering them to carry back financing than if I carried a full term out and have to pay back 3.2 times. Banks get paid, right? So it's easy to talk to these owners and go, why don't you be the actual bank? So
Right.
yeah.
And explaining it just how he did is perfect. I mean, if I was a seller and you were saying that to me, I'm like, oh yeah, that makes total sense. Let's do that for sure.
Yeah, totally.
Very cool. So, okay, this is great. So I just want to hear a little bit about kind of like what the state of your business is now and where you see yourself going in the next 5, 10 plus years.
So by the end of August, so I'll have 5 homes open, 68 beds. And those properties are awesome. But this year in April, we bought 15 acres. So we bought 15 acres because we finally got to a point that we feel that we can build these things faster and better than us finding these homes and turn it into this purpose. A thing that I had to kind of go back is it took me 5 years to open up 5 homes. Now, when all 5 of these homes are open, the passive cash flow so each month will be about $100,000 per month. So what that does is we bring in capital from private guys, typically dentists, doctors, and we will partner up with them that they own part of each of these different homes, right? But going forward, I will, with it taking 5 years for us to open 5 homes, until this upcoming June, we are going to build homes that is going to take us from 5 homes to 14 homes in under about 12 months.
Oh, wow.
Now that's going from 68 beds to 212 beds. Now, a thing I didn't talk on a whole ton is the baby boomer generation from 2020 through 2035 is going to get crazy. And there isn't the quantity of good places out there to take good care of them. And I feel the urge that I have to go quicker. I have to help the folks who are going to be older have different options. I mean, I don't think as they get 80 to about 85 that their only option is to go out of their own home and into a 200-bed place that just has the odor in it. I don't think that is a very good option. I feel that we ought to push harder to open up these homes that offer good care that people can feel just like they are at their own just home, you know. And I told you we are building homes, right? So we are building 144 beds, but they are so each home is their own just home. They're 15 beds each, but we are building a bunch of them on 15 acres. So we are able to build the bigger 144 beds total. However, we are building it in a fashion that we don't give up the high quality care piece and then also the home feel.
Okay, excellent. Very cool. So you're now looking to build these homes because, I mean, the trajectory you're going right now, it's just the logical next step. It's faster. You have exactly what you want. You know, instead of finding a property and then having to build in, you know, half baths into each room or what have you, you can just build that in right from the get-go.
So what our total goal is to have 30 of these homes open by 2022. And we are able to do that by building these homes, where if I had to find these homes and turn them into this purpose, that would take me forever. By building, I feel that gives me a better opportunity to help the elderly that are going to be getting of the age that they are going to have help. So.
All right. Yeah. So it sounds like you are now building these homes, but you're open to, you know, if somebody threw you a deal that would be perfect for, you know, opening, is that something you are still actively, you know, open to and seeking?
Sure. So we are open to going to different areas. I'm open to partner up with people, both folks that are interested in parking dollars into these homes passively, but then also folks that are interested in doing things if they want to do this them and to open up their own homes. We will offer private coaching. We're probably only going to offer like 5 of them each year because I don't want to focus too often on that. But I figure if I help 5 people, I've got a couple coaching students today that have bought, one guy bought 10 acres and the other one bought 15 acres, and they are building their own homes. So we will help people open up their own homes. Or if anybody can find us homes, I currently have 5 homes today. I would like to pick up one elder home, 4,000 or 5,000 square feet plus, in the Crystal Lake, Barrington, Palatine kind of area, kind of down by us. Or if anybody finds a good property, or even 3 of them in a different area of this country, I would even go to other areas, but I would have to have 3 homes within about 30 just minutes of each other. That would be about 5,000 square feet on a one floor property.
Okay.
So
if anyone sees that criteria or knows of it,
or a different option too is if anybody is very good and has the proper backing to build us homes, I would gladly come in and be a 50-50 owner that would actually operate it.
Okay.
I have found out that I am probably just not the best builder ever, and so I would tell you, general babysitting the general contractor every day and dealing with all of their kind of issues and calling in, I could definitely get over ever doing that again. So if anybody's very good at building these assets coast to coast in a very good area, the type of dirt that I bought is by us. There is a 55 plus area where they are all 55 plus. In this group of homes has 5,500 homes. We bought 15 acres literally we bought 15 acres in there. And if anybody found dirt just like that and could build us these type of homes, we would gladly come in to operate it. And for that person, after expenses, it's a very good payday for building us those homes.
Excellent. Well, that's amazing. Thank you so much for sharing all of that. I think anyone listening is probably, just has a million questions more. So if someone can find properties, or if someone is a builder, developer, or just has general questions to reach out to you. So where can people connect with you?
So the best thing is I've got one of those online calendar apps. That's probably the best thing to do. And it is just my first name, just last name.com. It is Brandon, BRANDON, and then it is SCHWAB.com. Yeah, if you were able to go there, I think you even booked the time to talk here on there. It is pretty easy. Pick a time to talk to me. 30 minutes is probably best for the first call. If the call goes good, then I typically do a follow-up phone call that we will talk face to face, just like this. And for anybody that is going to be interested in parking dollars passively, obviously they always could come out. I do a thing called babyboomerbustour.com. I do those about just once per quarter. I take 10 people and we go from about 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. And I take you through each of our homes. I take you out to eat. But I basically kind of give you everything that I've kind of done, both good and bad, for 12 hours for only like $5,000. So if anybody is going to be interested in how to cut down probably $200,000 of, I would tell you, errors, dumb errors, for $5,000, I can give you back $200,000 of just dumb things that I did that I would do different going forward. That is probably just worth 10, 20 times that. But for anybody on here who is interested in doing it on their own, I would tell you to definitely do that first, because oh my goodness, I did a ton of dumb things that that I will do different going forward. So
Okay, so we will link to your different websites below the video.
thank you.
But yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for your time today, Brandon. This was another big learning experience for me, and I'm sure everyone else watching. So really appreciate the time, and hopefully we can speak again in the future.
Sounds awesome. Yeah. If you would ever like to do a part 2 or something, cool, man.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew.